From North America's dense forest to the Himalayas' isolated highlands, stories of strange creatures that lurk just beyond the veil of our understanding have been passed down through generations. These cryptids, based between the realms of myth and reality, are a tapestry woven from the fears, folklore, and whispers of our cultures worldwide. Are these beasts mere legends born of superstition, or do they hide in the dark corners of our world, waiting for the moment they are finally revealed? The hunt for answers begins. But remember, some things are better left undisturbed. Welcome to Myth and Lores, a journey into the dark and divine. Without further ado, let's jump into another lore. The concept of Skinwalkers is deeply rooted in folklore and mythology of the Navajo people. However, similar shape-shifting legends appear in various other Native American traditions and even in other cultures worldwide. The Skinwalker, known as Yinaldushi in the Navajo language, translates roughly to using it, he goes on all fours. They are thought to be witches or sorcerers capable of transforming into animals, most commonly wolves, coyotes, foxes, or other creatures associated with the wild. Still, they may also adopt human forms or the traits of any animal they desire. The origins of the Skinwalker myth can be traced to Navajo spirituality and their beliefs about witches. These witches, sometimes called Anahi, evil witches, use their knowledge of the spiritual and material worlds for malicious purposes. In the Navajo culture, the practice of witchcraft is considered taboo, and the most dangerous witches are those who can take on the form of animals. According to the myth, a skinwalker is typically someone who has chosen to walk the path of evil and uses dark powers to control and manipulate others. Becoming a skinwalker involves a terrible act. A person must kill a close family member, often a sibling or parent, to gain the power to shapeshift. This horrendous act is considered the ultimate taboo, a vile violation of natural and spiritual order, and one that irrevocably condemns the individual to a life of dark magic. The Skinwalker's primary ability is shapeshifting, though their powers go far beyond mere transformation. A skinwalker can take the form of any animal, but they often prefer wolves, coyotes, and other creatures tied to their culture's mythology. The transformation may be complete, with the skinwalker assuming the animal's physical traits, or it may involve a more partial or ghostly change. Skinwalkers are said to have the ability to mimic the voices of loved ones or others, drawing unsuspecting people into dangerous situations. This ability is often used to trick people into approaching them or venturing into the wilderness. In their animal forms, Skinwalkers are said to possess extraordinary strength, speed, and endurance. They are often described as nearly unstoppable, even able to outrun vehicles or leap great distances. Skinwalkers are often believed to possess the power to curse individuals with sickness or bad luck. They can cast harmful spells, causing death or misfortune in the lives of those they target. Skinwalkers are reputed to be immune to bullets or other forms of physical harm in their animal form. The legend says they can only be killed by a specific ritual or by someone who knows how to deal with them. The role of the Skinwalker in Navajo culture. In Navajo tradition, the Skinwalker is not just a boogeyman or an evil figure. They symbolize moral corruption and the consequences of violating sacred taboos. For the Navajo, the idea of a skinwalker represents the ultimate abuse of power, using knowledge of the spiritual world for malicious purposes. It's a belief deeply intertwined with the Navajo code of ethics, where maintaining harmony with nature and respecting the balance of life are of utmost importance. Skinwalkers are also associated with death, illness, and misfortune. Their presence is thought to bring bad omens, and their actions are often believed to cause unexplained deaths or catastrophic events. To the Navajo, talking about skinwalkers or acknowledging their existence is considered dangerous and may invite bad luck or even attract the attention of skinwalkers themselves. The fear and the taboo. Skinwalker lore is not just a myth, but a deeply ingrained taboo within Navajo society. There's a profound fear of these creatures, and many Navajo individuals will go out of their way to avoid speaking about them or discussing them openly. The very act of saying the word skinwalker aloud is considered to invite danger. It's said that those who seek to confront or expose skinwalkers are often cursed or harmed in some way. Because of this fear, many Navajo refuse to engage with outsiders on the subject, believing that speaking about the skinwalkers may draw their attention and result in retaliation. Skinwalker stories are often shared only in hushed tones, late at night, or in isolated settings. Skinwalkers in modern folklore. Over time, the Skinwalker legend has evolved and spread beyond Navajo culture, becoming a fixture of broader American paranormal folklore. The myth has gained significant traction in popular culture, especially within the realm of horror films, books, and TV shows. For instance, the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah has become famous for purported paranormal activity, including claims of skinwalker encounters, adding to the mythos surrounding the creatures. In contemporary stories, skinwalkers are often depicted as shape-shifting, malevolent beings that prey on unsuspecting individuals. They are associated with cryptic encounters, unexplained phenomena, and ghostly apparitions, lending themselves to the modern horror genre. However, it's important to recognize that in Navajo culture, these beings are not just creatures to be feared. They represent a much deeper spiritual and ethical lesson. To the Navajo, the Skinwalker myth warns against the dangers of misuse of power, the consequences of losing one's moral compass, and the spiritual dangers of violating sacred traditions. In many ways, the Skinwalker myth is a cautionary tale about the dangers of losing touch with one's humanity and spiritual values. It highlights that when individuals engage in unethical or taboo behavior, particularly when they seek to wield powers they do not fully understand, they risk becoming monstrous. The Skinwalker is not just a physical transformation, but a spiritual one, representing the corruption of the soul. The Navajo people believe that skinwalkers can be defeated, but it's often a complicated and dangerous task. Traditional methods to protect oneself from skinwalkers include using rituals, prayers, or talismans, and seeking the guidance of a Navajo medicine man. However, this remains a deeply personal and culturally specific practice. The Skinwalker's dark lore reflects the Navajo people's deep respect for the natural and spiritual worlds and their profound understanding of the consequence of moral corruption. The Skinwalker symbolizes evil and a dire warning about the dangers of abusing one's power. While the myth has been adapted and commercialized in popular culture, its roots remain deeply tied to the Navajo worldview and the importance of maintaining harmony with the world around us. Whether regarded as folklore, mythology, or living cultural belief, the Skinwalker is a creature that evokes both fear and respect, a reminder of the shadows that dwell within the human soul. That concludes this lore. If you like what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next lore. Bye.